What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to show you guys this gun flanker close full scheme in Madden 24. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So the playbook I'm in is the Eagles offensive playbook. Again, I'm in the Eagles offensive playbook. Now, if you're curious about more formations that I have, please make sure you check out my eBooks. And it's on my website, allthingsmadden.com. The link is in the description. So if you ever want any formations, make sure you go on my website and then you go to request the ebook, and then you just go ahead and fill out the little quick form, and then I'll have it to you within about 24 to 48 hours normally. So if you're interested in that, make sure you do that on the website. So first and foremost, I actually really love this formation, but the couple things that's cool about it is you can get tied in on both slots. And the only way this is useful is if you want to audible down on your opponent. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second, but actually I'll show you what I mean right now. So let's go to tight end both slots, and then let's just pick a play for right now, and then let's just pick a play for here. So if you have a team that has good two tight ends, or if you have, you know, if you're on Mutt, then I like to do this as well, where I'll run this offense with two tight ends. And the reason why is because if your opponents start coming out in a lot of heavy blitzes that are really hard to stop, so like, you know, maybe your nickel A gap blitz or something, then what you can do is you have the ability now, since you have two tight ends, and you can actually audible down to something like single back wing slot, or, you know, pistol. So if you have any pistol formations, and this playbook can be found in other playbooks, so make sure you check them out. And again, you can tell we have just a lot of things we can do. So we can go to single back, like I said, and then we can audible down and find nice run plays. Maybe we can find a nice pass play that exposes it. So just again, you know, just kind of giving you ideas here as to, if you need to, you definitely can use it. It is at your disposal. So don't want to spend any more time on that. I just wanted to quickly just show you that you have the ability to audible down. So maybe if your opponent's heavy blitzing you and you just can't throw any good dots, you definitely can do that. And also there is something else that you can do as well. So you can go to tight end both slots, and then you can go to substitution. You actually can if I remember right, you should be able to put a running back out here. So yeah, so what you can do is you actually can put either another tight end out here that you're not using, or you can put another running back. And what that'll do is now you'll have 3 tight ends on the field, so you can actually get other type of audibles too. So I'll show you that real quick. So let's say you wanted to do tight end both sides, and then you put in a third tight end. Now I would only recommend this for Mutt style, and again, this is I'm just going over this because there's a lot of people who may be weak against the blitz. So regs, you can do it if you're just desperate, but I wouldn't do on regs. But now take a look at this, so we can actually go into like other type of single back formations now. So we can go to single back wing tight, we can go to, you know, this pistol, we can go to this little wing tight nasty. So as you can tell, just because we put another tight end in, we're actually able to utilize other formations such as this one, which actually is a really great formation to run. If your opponent's coming out in like a dollar blitz or a heavy nickel blitz, then you actually can run this style of play and just look to kind of get some yards. So really you can really get creative if you're using the Eagles offense, but it don't have to be just the Eagles offense. But with this particular formation, it's just clutch if you know that you have that. So I took the time to talk about that for a reason. And I'll get into it here as far as when the video gets along. So real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and put that tight end out, and then we're gonna go ahead and put AJ Brown back in. And the receivers, obviously, you just want to put whoever your fastest receivers are on the outside. And for the inside, normally like to have somebody who's good at route running, but we'll put Quez Watkins here. I think that'll be a better fit than whoever that guy was. So anyways, plays I like in this formation are obviously the run plays are great, but focusing on the pass, I love weak flood, I love bench, escape, and also this F choice spot. So you can run all these plays in succession. They're really great to run together. So what I'm gonna do is I put escape in the audibles. I got weak flood and I got choice. So what we're gonna come out in is actually gonna be we'll come out in weak flood because there are a couple of ways we can bomb coverages with this. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna come out and cover for a drop, and we're gonna work our way down. So let's go ahead and come out and cover for a drop. All right, so when it comes to cover for a drop, we actually can't, we can, but realistically, I want to do everything in one play for you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to take triangle, put him on a streak. Now we're going to take circle, we're going to motion him out, and I like to put him on a comeback route. And then we like to, technically you could just leave it just like this, but I want to show you cover 3 first, actually, because this setup in particular is going to be great for bomb and cover 3 in particular. So this setup right here, perfect versus it. All you need is time in a pocket, which shouldn't be that bad, because what's going to happen is he's just going to literally run away from that cornerback, he's going to run away from that free safety, and that's going to give us the easy throw for a potential one-play touchdown. So the reason I like this route in particular is because look at how fast he runs it. So look at how much ground he's gaining, and then just take a look at how there's nobody out here. And there's nobody out here because this year on comebacks, the cornerbacks really squeeze those comeback routes. So that's what's going to allow this throw to be wide open. And also, you can take a look, you actually can throw this as well. So if they're not playing a zone drop style, purple or something, or cloud flat, you can throw this ball, as soon as right here, and you'll be able to get a nice little dot. So again, I want to show you versus cover 4 drop now, just so you can see, but I wanted to show you cover 3 so you see how it works. Now with cover 4 drop, we can technically use the same setup, but it's going to be a little bit different. So circle still on the comeback, we got triangle on the streak, and that's all that we need to do. Now I'm gonna spy this guy right here, so I don't have to have, I don't have to be in a pocket extra long. So with this play, you're gonna have to wait. And then as soon as he passes up square or that safety right there, that's when you want to deliver that strike. So as soon as he passes up that third safety, that's when you want to go ahead and throw this. But the good thing about cover 4 drop, if your opponent plays cover 4 drop, they're normally only going to rush 3 or 2 at you. You're almost never going to see a cover 4 drop where they rush 4 people at you. So you should have time in a pocket. And a lot of times the user will be right here guarding the middle. And even if they're not playing, remember, zone drops, you can actually throw this ball right here and get a nice dot on the sideline. But you want to buy time in a pocket, and worst case scenario, you actually can dump this ball down or playmaker him worst case scenario because of how close he is to you. So this is why I love this setup. As you can tell, the streak is going to hold both of our safeties, and then our cornerback right here is supposed to be the person playing it. That's why 20 passes it off, but he passes it to nobody, which means that we have a wide open dot that we can throw. All right, so moving forward, let's talk about cover 2 and how it looks versus cover 2. Now I'm going to spy those two just so I have time. But we're going to do literally the same exact setup for cover 2. We could put him on a comeback, triangle on a streak. Now versus cover 2, you're going to have to throw this ball a little bit quicker, honestly. So you're going to have to throw it right about here, and then you're going to have to let him just kind of go get it. So it's not really necessarily a one-play touchdown, but it has a potential to be. But your base is going to be always guaranteed to split those safeties. All right, so when we talk about man coverage now, man coverage is a tad bit different. So I'll show you the same setup, so just so you can see how it looks. Now I still love this setup, but one thing I like to do is take triangle, or I press triangle and I press X, and you want to hit R1 to go ahead and smart route his route. So notice how it's ran a little deeper now. So this is what it looks like normal. This is what it looks like when we smart route it. So I love this for smart routed because he's going to be able to get more separation because he's going to run his route for a longer period of time. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how EA works on here. They've been working this way for a long time, and I figured I was gonna take a sack right there. But anyways, I didn't really need to actually throw the ball for you to see it. And don't worry if you guys are worried about saying I'm not gonna have time in the pocket. There's other plays that I like that you'll see in a second that can get open a lot faster versus man coverage. This is more so if you have a great offensive line and you have, decent blocking. And keep in mind, this is all Madden practice mode. But anyways, I want you to see something. So notice how he sticks his foot in the ground. And then this is actually when you could throw this ball right here. So if you needed to, you could just buy a little time and throw it. But if you have a good matchup, comeback routes work really well versus man. But Jir is going to be all over that. But what I wanted you to get you to see is look at this safety kind of glitch right here. So what happens is that you'll have this little gap right here that you can throw. It's going to be close, but a lot of times you want to pass lead it up. And I'll actually show you that in a second. But I just wanted you to see that he does, as long as you have a good matchup, he's going to win. Same thing for him. If you got somebody speedy right here, he'll normally be good. And of course, if you have somebody running a streak that's speedy, that'll be great too. So anyways, the reason why I also started off showing you guys how to kind of audible around is because the only thing that's weak against this formation is if you have to deal with somebody sending all out blitzes at you all the time. Now, can you still dot up? Yes, you can using these same setups. But if you're not fast at reading defenses, I highly recommend you just to start audibling around in different formations to kind of get them to calm down with the blitzes. That's what I recommend. Now, we're going to go ahead and smart route that route right here. So I spied those 3 just to give myself a little bit of time so I don't have to keep running this play 5, 6, 7, 8 times. But what I wanted you to see is that you're going to have that little gap that's going to be right there. And you're going to be able to throw that a lot of times for an easy completion. Now, last thing I wanted to show you before we kind of move this along is I wanted to show you this route right here because I was telling you it beats man. it's every so often, but right here they actually guarded it really well. But the reason this works is because when you make this route longer, normally the speed difference is going to start to be more and more apparent, if that makes sense. And just notice that this route right here is just really good at beating man. I know he was lighting up, I know he's, you know, I know he has his X factor, but still, it's just a really great route to run on someone. Now, moving forward, I kind of want to talk about some different plays. So let's kind of talk about escape here. So escape, I actually really love this versus man. Now you can do other things with it versus zone, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. But I love this play versus man. And the crazy thing is I actually like this play stock. The only adjustment I make is take X, put him on a streak. That is all that we need to do. So your read progressions on here are going to be, you want to read this corner route first. Then you want to read this in route, see if you get a win. And lastly, you want to read R1. Now, about the time you come to R1, you'll be able to see circles route develop also. So you'll be able to see if that's open. So anyways, hopefully you don't get a little screamer off the edge. But even if you do, a lot of times you'll still have time to throw that corner route. So anyways, like I said, I'm not going to show this one too much just because it's not a hard setup at all. All you're going to do is just take X, put him on a streak. And you're just going to read. So like I said, I love to read triangle first because he's normally going to get a great win animation. Look at how great he ran that route. He actually leaned up against them, broke them off, literally just how you would run it in real life, which is why corner routes are always toasted, man, in real life, but Madden had a hard time making it happen. But look at how he's leaning into him, stemming, pushing his basically pushing his inside, and then he's going to break it off, which is how you're supposed to run it. This is actually a man beating corner route, which is why I love this so much, because this is going to be your first read. Now, about the time you look at this, you want to come and look here. So these are normally my quick reads on this side for this play. Now, lastly, if there's no safety help, sometimes you can have this. If this is your speedy guy, you can actually have him off the rip. And also, if these two don't collide, you can normally have him right there. But anyways, one thing I want to show you before we move on, let's go back to escape. We're going to take X, put him on a streak. And I just want to show you this R1 route if I have time. It's a great route. Just notice how he's going to get a little win animation, especially if you have somebody, you know, that's shifty, who's running like DeAndre Swift. You're going to be able to have a lot of success out of this. So again, you can run this play versus any other thing. So please keep that in mind. Now, another setup that I want to give you versus zones, because I want to give you something. So if you want to dot up on the left side of the field, you can, and if you want to dot up on the right side. So I love this versus any single zone. So we're going to go back to escape. We're going to take square. We're going to put him on a streak. We're going to take circle, or excuse me, X, and we want to put him on a little baby in route. So this is what I love to do, and this is going to destroy any zone in the game. We're going to read this left side of the field right here. So look at triangle, obviously, and then that's going to be the read that we're going to make. Normally you'll be able to roll out in the pocket a little bit more, but I wanted to stay in the pocket just to kind of show you, just in case if you wasn't able to. But the reason this play works is because, like I said, this streak is going to push back our deep zones. It's a very simple concept, but very effective. And this in route is going to be money, because this corner route is pushing back any hook zones and vertical hooks. It's pushing them back by default, which means that this in route right here is going to be wide open. And if they overcommit, a lot of times you can have this dot right here if you're able to, if you have a good, you know, matchup and good coverage. You know, if they have a coverage you can expose, basically. So you'll have this middle open if they're just playing crazy coverage, which they really might. So just real quick, I want to show you what it looks like versus cover 2. You might be kind of curious what it looks like. Now, hopefully I have time in the pocket, because I'm not going to try to buy a ton of time. And again, that setup is just square on the streak, X on the in route, and that is all that we got to do, and we'll be money. So anyways, look at triangle. Just notice how he's going to just get wide open. And if you did notice, we also was going to have circle, just because by default this setup is going to destroy every single zone coverage. Now, you also can run this versus man, but I just wouldn't recommend it. Well, you can, just be careful sometimes, but I will prefer it versus zone. Now, what I was showing you was because this vertical hook has to respect this corner route, we actually can throw this, and then also, if you could tell, we'll have this circle route right here wide open. So no matter what, the user's going to be wrong. If they zone drop, we'll be able to throw it down low under here. So that's my favorite setups when it comes to play escape. We can run it versus man, we can run it versus zone, and that kind of leads me to our last play, is F choice. So with this F choice, I would run this whenever my two receivers that I want are on the wide side of the field. You could do it in the middle, but this what makes this offense fun, because now we can create a flood route to the other side of the field. All we gotta do is take circle, put them on a streak. I like to just motion circle out, make my opponent think we're doing our comeback play. Now, what you want to do is take triangle, put him on a streak, and square on the in route. That is all that we have to do. And this setup right here will destroy every single zone coverage in the game. We're going to make a right side read, but if the user flies to the right side, we're going to come back and read these two right here between the streak and the in route, but you want to read that in route first. So that in route is going to be open just about every single time. So you don't even have to look at the corner route if you don't want to, because most of the time when you call this play, the user's going to take their user and sprint over there. If you run this enough times, they'll just come straight over here because they'll see this action happen over here. They'll see all of this. And then what we're going to do is be able to dump this right here for a nice gain. And the reason this works is the same reason the last play worked, is because our streak is going to have no choice but to push back those hook zones and those vertical hooks, which means that they have no choice but to give this up if they don't have a spy right there. So just be careful of the spy. Now, you guys seen it did get open for cover 4 drop. So I'll show you cover 3 just in case you were kind of curious about it. So we're going to go back to F choice spot. Just take circle, motion them out, put them on a streak. Triangle on the streak, square on the in route, and that is all that we have to do. All you need to do is just buy a little time in the pocket. Of course I don't, but you see we have X screaming wide open. So again, really love that setup. Now, cover 2 is the only coverage that I don't like this play against. The corner route just doesn't run deep enough, and I'll show you that best by actually backing off that corner to where he just has no choice but to sit. So again, triangle on the streak, square on the in route. But just look at cover 2. We'll try to, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that, but we'll go in the replay and look at this dude not going down. I'll show you in the replay, but the cornerback sits in a perfect spot. I was going to throw a pick anyways because I was throwing it straight to the cornerback, but I wanted to show you this real quick. So just kind of watch how this cornerback just sits right here. And when you get that action, when you see that cornerback sit, you actually want to throw this swing route. So you notice how we can always have this guy open right here. You could throw this quick, and you also could throw this swing route. So if they're doing like a cover 2 blitz, this play is perfect for that, because a lot of times what happens is the user will flash this way on the blitz, and then we'll be able to throw this guy right here. So it's always going to be a simple 1-2 read when it comes to this play. So I believe that's everything I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to show you guys. Now one play I do want to give you that I was playing around with and I really like. We're actually going to go to bench real quick. So this is kind of a bonus play. I'm trying to get better at giving you guys more and more plays that you can use. I had a comment tell me that, you know, I was only doing like 1 or 2 setups, which is the point of my video, but this is kind of a bonus for y'all. So anyways, for this setup, this will work versus any zones. You don't take circle, put them on a streak. You want to take this receiver right here, motion them across. And now you got a couple things you can do. So a lot of times I'll take R1, I'll put them on an option route. And then I'll take triangle right here, put them on a streak, and then the in route. So I like to do this style of setup. Now, if I do this style of setup, I'll normally block my running back to give myself extra blockers. And this is just going to destroy every single zone in the game, only just because we're going to have X. You want to drift out in the pocket just so it's not that tough of a throw. I just was not able to, but I'll show you this time that when I drift out, that it's an easier throw, because you never want to throw this type of pass where I'm at. It's just way too hard. You want to work your way out here to make this throw easier, because you want to throw this ball right up in here. You don't want to throw it in the pocket, because if you do, you run the chance of this happening where the cornerback is going to break off, and then you're probably throwing a pick, to be honest, because the user will click on. Now, the cool part about this play is that kind of look at this streak though. So a lot of times you can actually have this guy right here if you're bold enough to throw it. But just be very careful with that. So anyways, I'll show you one more time just dealing with this play. So again, you just take them, take circle, put them on a streak, and you can actually run it this way if you want to. I would just take square and just put them on a smoke screen if you're going to run it this way, and take R1 and put them on an option route. So you can run it either or. Okay, so if you want to run it this way, then you can read this left side if you want to, you know. So now we can, that was a terrible throw, but you got the idea. So we had the smoke screen. I was just trying to be a little bold when I threw it, but long story short, you could throw that too. So if you want to do that style of setup, you definitely can. I love that one versus cover 2 in particular, because if they're playing cover 2, then that cornerback's either going to stay short or they're going to follow on the corner route. So anyways, I just want to run this one more time just to kind of show you what it looks like. So notice how we drift out, and we'll be able to deliver that dot. But anyways, that's wrap it up for this video though. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Ray Jarrell, and I'm out.